Let's get it. YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Black Atheist Rants, back with it. You know what time it is. You know what's going on. This is Everything Wrong in the Bible. Everything Wrong in Genesis. We are on Genesis chapter 32. Let's get straight into it. Okay. It says Jacob prepares to meet Esau. Now, remember when we last left off, Jacob was into it with Laban. And the last time Jacob saw Esau, Esau was trying to kill him because Jacob intercepted his blessing from their father. So let's see where the story goes. Let's see how it turns out. I wonder if Esau gonna get his smoke back. Let's go. Genesis 32 verse 1. It says, Jacob also went on his way, and the angels of God met him. Okay, bullshit meter going off first verse. There are angels that can meet us. We can see them. We can interact with them according to this verse. I don't know about you, but I've never saw an angel. I've never heard an angel. I've never been by an angel. An angel never knocked on my door. They never met me anywhere. They never protected me. They never protected my people. They never protected my family. They haven't done shit for me. And so I read the story already, verse 1, and it's like, I would like a little bit of what he's having. If we're doing an internal critique, I was a Christian. I prayed to the God. I worshiped the God. Angels did not bring me anything. Angels did not meet me. Where are our angels? Where are the angels for black people? Why don't they meet us? Why can't we see them? Physically, it says Jacob met them, right? They met him as in person, as in coming together. This is not him talking to a voice in his head. This ain't no burning bush. This ain't no memory or no dream, because God loves to appear to these people in dreams. This is not that. It says he went on his way and angels of God met him. Your bullshit meter should be going off. Red flags already out the gate. Because a question I want to ask is, if angels can meet Jacob, what is the requirement? What is the prerequisite? What is needed of us for angels to meet us on our way? And if we've already met these requirements, because he hasn't done anything special in the book thus far, other than, buy someone else's daughter as a sex slave, as his wife. Other than that, what has he done that was special to where angels can meet him and not us in person? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm asking? These are that's the question that's coming to my mind. What would I have to do to get an angel to meet me? And when I did believe in God, when I was a Christian, what was I missing? And if I wasn't missing anything, then why didn't angels come and meet me? If you are a Christian and you believe in this bullshit, angels can meet you in person, literally, not metaphorically, not symbolically, not allegory. No, literally, they can come and fucking meet you in person. Verse 2, it says, when Jacob saw them, right? Because he saw them with his fucking eyes, physically, in reality, in real life, not symbols, not metaphors, not allegory, not dreams. He saw them. Angels are beings that can appear to us in person. They come from the supernatural realm into our reality, inside of our time-space continuum. They can appear to us in the real world according to the Bible. I want to know why I haven't seen an angel when I know for 100% fact I was a devout Christian. I never seen an angel. If you are a Christian, well, shit, they'll call any fucking thing an angel, because I can't ask them. Everything's a fucking angel to them people. I can't even ask them. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I've never seen an angel. I've never seen anything physically. Maybe in a dream, maybe daydreaming, maybe, something like that. But I've never actually physically, in reality, seen an angel that I could touch or talk to or speak to. Nothing has ever appeared to me from out of thin fucking air. It says, when Jacob saw them, he said, this is the camp of God. So he named that place Mahanaim. Okay, verse 3 says, Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. He instructed them, this is what you are to say to my lord Esau. Your servant Jacob says, I have been staying with Laban and have remained there till now. I have cattle and donkeys, sheep and goats, male and female slaves. Now I am sending this message to my Lord that I may find favor in your eyes. Because remember, his brother was out to kill him last time he saw him. He's disappeared. He's been gone for probably 20 years. You know, he's just trying to make sure his brother know, hey, look, I'm up now. I got money. I got cattle. I got donkey. I got flock. I got slaves. When you see me, you know, whatever you need, I can provide it for you to try to ease the tension. He trying to make sure he back in his brother's good graces. Verse 6 says, when the messengers returned to Jacob, they said, we went to your brother Esau, and now he is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him. I guess the bribery didn't work. I guess him letting them know, hey, look, we up now. He said, fuck that. I want my revenge. So he done got 400 men, and now he on the way to handle that. Okay, verse 7 says, in great fear and distress, Jacob divided the people who were with him into two groups, and the flocks and herds and camels as well. He thought, if Esau comes and attacks one group, the one group that is left may escape. Verse 9 says, then Jacob prayed, O God of my father Abraham, God of my father Isaac, Lord, you who said to me, go back to your country and your relatives, and I will make you prosper. I am unworthy of all the kindness and faithfulness you have shown your servant. I had only my staff when I crossed this Jordan, but now I have become two camps. Now I want you to understand something, right? Because what this is showing you is that the God of Abraham, right? The God of Isaac blessed Jacob, made sure he took care of Jacob, made sure Jacob had everything he needed, made sure that Jacob was fruitful and multiplied. He came to that land by himself. Now he's two camps. Got all the resources and infrastructure he needs to survive and thrive. He good. But, you know, when I ask Christians questions like, why doesn't God provide and protect for the children, for the ones in need, for the people on this planet that believe in the God? I asked them, why doesn't this God protect, provide them, ensure them that they have at least a bare minimum, food, water, shelter, just the necessities, just the stuff for basic survival? Why doesn't the God of Abraham bless them? You know what the Christians say to me? They be like, why don't you go out and save the world? Why don't you go out and provide these things for everybody? Why aren't you giving everything you have? What are you doing to help these people that you're complaining about? Why aren't you providing for all the people across the whole fucking planet? This is what the pushback is from the Christians. When I ask them questions like, why isn't the God of Abraham helping people? They, in turn, put the onus and the blame on me, y'all. Listen to Black Atheists. I asked them, why isn't their God helping? Their response is to put it back on me as if I was the God. Because Lord knows, if I could, Sunday K glory, if I could provide and make sure everybody was straight across the whole fucking planet, it'd have been done. But I'm not God, I'm not Yahweh, I'm not Elohim. And so you gotta understand how Black Atheists come at this shit, because I am literally reading the stories in the book where Yahweh provides. The God of Abraham has blessed Jacob tenfold. Jacob ain't got to worry about shit. He got everything. He got two camps, donkeys, cattle, sheep, slaves, sex slave, 4 wives, 20 kids. He's good. I'm not asking the God of the Bible to do anything he doesn't do in the book. He has given this person way more than they could ever need. He's given Jacob an abundance. He's given Jacob an overflow. His cup runneth over, Lord. And so I read this and I'm like, this is literally the God of the Bible providing and taking care of somebody. I'm asking God to do the same thing he's doing for Jacob, to do it for other people. And the Christian's response is like, God don't work like that. Yes, the fuck he does work like that. Look at what he's doing in the book. What have I asked of the Lord that he doesn't do in Genesis 32, 31, 29, 14? He been taking care of these people for multiple generations, y'all. Why can't Christians ask for a little bit of what these people are having? I'm okay if God don't want to provide for me. I'm not a Christian. I say fuck Yahweh on a daily basis. But for the people who actually believe in this God, for the Christians all around this fucking globe suffering while praying to the same God as Jacob, y'all. Come on now. They're black cook. They praying to the same God as Jacob. They don't get nothing. Not a donkey, not a cattle, not a quilt, not a sweater, a pair of socks, nothing. You want to know what's interesting? And I'm going to say this and we're going to get back to it. Other people's free will can override God's love for these Christians in the real world, because there are Christians who pray to this God and someone else's greed, someone else's gluttony, someone else's evil ways and wicked ways can intercept whatever the fuck God got going on, whatever plan he got for these people, whatever plan he got for us. Greedy, racist motherfuckers can override that shit. I'm sure during this time, there are plenty of people that did not want Jacob to succeed. Laban and Esau are just two off the top. He succeeded regardless. God provided for him no matter who tried to stop it. God made sure it happened for Jacob. And so I'm trying to understand, why would you pray to a God that would provide for Jacob and bless Jacob and give him everything he needs and not do the same for you? There is no excuse when God helps Jacob, yet you have excuses in your mind why God can't help you. You ain't even asking for everything. You just need the basic bare minimum shit. You can't get it from your Lord. Meanwhile, your Lord has done, like, Jacob didn't need all these fucking slaves and donkeys and cattle and shit. God blessed them with it though. You don't even need half of it. You just need a little something, a little piece of that, a little nugget of it. God can't give you shit. Because you in the fallen world and it's full of sin, and so is fucking Jacob. Come on now. They're black cook. Yeah. All the excuses the Christians give for why God can't help us, for why God can't help humanity, that don't stop him from helping Jacob. That don't get in the way of the blessings of the Israelites. That don't get in the way of the blessings of these fucking Jews in this book. So why is that the excuse when it comes to humans in 2025? Why is the excuse you give, we in a fallen fucking world? They in a fallen world too. Angels come and meet them and guide them on the path. God speaks to them. God intervenes. He comes in dreams. He watches over. He provides. He walks with them, talk with them, the whole 9 fucking yards. And so you gotta understand, this don't make fucking sense. This looks stupid to black atheists. This look like some fuck shit to black atheists. I smell bullshit. My bullshit meter's going off. Because my $1 million question is, why the fuck would I pray to a God that picks favorites, obviously? Don't do for one what you won't do for the whole group, Yahweh. And since you've already done for one, where the fuck is everybody else is at? That's a fucking bar. Let's keep going. Verse 11, it says, "Save me, I pray, from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am afraid he will come and attack me, and also the mothers with their children. But you have said, I will surely make you prosper, and will make your descendants like the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted." He spent the night there, and from what he had with him, he selected a gift for his brother Esau: 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 female camels with their young, 40 cows and 10 bulls and 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. Now I want to stop for a minute, because this goes back to what the fuck I was just saying. Look at how much shit God has provided for Jacob. He has so much that he can give away 200 fucking donkeys and camels and goats and shit. Have you ever prayed for 200 of anything from God? No. 9 times out of 10, if you a fucking Christian, when you was a Christian, or if you are a Christian, you pray for shit like, God, make sure my grandmama survive, cancer. God, why my son got cancer? God, I don't want to starve tonight, God. Lord, watch over my mother as she commutes to work. God, can you bless me with a house, somewhere to live? God, I can't afford this. Can you get it for me, Lord? You know, shit like that. Or God, can you feed my family tonight? We hungry, God. I would just appreciate it if some fucking heavenly bread dropped from the sky. You know, that's the type of shit a Christian would pray for. If they got nuts, if they ain't scared to fucking pray and really ask for shit, that might be what they pray for. And so you read the Bible and this motherfucker got 200 of everything. What on earth could a Christian say to you? What excuse could they give for why God won't bless us, but will give this motherfucker 200 of everything? It don't even make sense. You can't even defend it no more. Either God picks favorites, or that motherfucker probably don't exist. I'm an empathetic person. I'm a people person. I'm a family man. I got brothers and sisters. You know, I shared rooms growing up. My mama cooked for everybody when she cooked. My grandmama cooked for everybody when she cooked. If everybody over your house, you gotta feed everybody, twin. That's just how we roll. That's just how my family go. I can't rock with this. You gotta understand where Black Atheist coming from. I can't fuck with this because even if I wanted to be a Christian, the first question I would ask is this a literal account? Because, you know, they say that some parts of the Bible is not literal, is allegory, is symbolism, metaphor, shit like that. So first I would be like, okay, is this a literal account? Like, are they saying this really literally happened? I'm assuming yes. If I was a Christian, I'd be like, this probably happened. But if this happened, God provided an exceeding amount. This motherfucker got everything. During that time, having 200, see, we ain't even talking about the same thing, y'all. Y'all lock in. During this time, 200 goats, you the fucking man. You a billionaire. Back then, you know, that was the currency. Livestock, servants and slaves and shit like that. That was your currency. That's how you knew a motherfucker had it going on. How many slaves they got, how many female donkeys and female goats and male goats and shit like that. How many chickens running around. That's how you knew who was the big dog back then. Well, if this motherfucker is able to give away 200 of these goddamn animals, apply that to now. That's like what, probably $1 million today. And it's like God used what was going on at the times and blessed Jacob with what he needed during that time. You know, they didn't have freeways and interstates and buildings and shit like that. Light bills and shit. That wasn't the thing back then. But back then you needed slaves and livestock. So if we apply it to now, there is no excuse why God would allow his children to starve to death, to go hungry, to not have food, water, shelter, to not have the basic necessities. This chapter began with an angel meeting him. They've been watching him the whole time, guiding him and protecting him the whole time. There is no excuse why this same God, we talking about Yahweh of this chapter, there is no excuse why this all-powerful God does not help people today the same way he helps these people. Are we not on the same level as Jacob? Is Jacob more important than me? Is Jacob more important than your grandmother? Why would you worship a God that would protect these people and not your family? Why did your God, the same God that helps Jacob in this story, why would this God not protect Martin Luther King, not protect a Malcolm X, not protect an Emmett Till? You can't even fathom how many black people have been killed, lynched, eaten, burned. You can't even comprehend how many black towns, how many black neighborhoods have been destroyed. And I'm sure those neighborhoods and towns worship the same God that protects and provides for Jacob. That is my issue. I want you to bring this shit home and apply it to your life. If this is your fucking guide to the galaxy, if it's supposed to be your guide to the galaxy, you gotta wrestle with that shit. And see, Black Atheist, I'm not in a position to where I can wrestle with that shit and come out on top. No, it defeats me. I cannot pray to a God that would help Jacob, bitch ass, and not my people. Point blank fucking period. Verse 16, it says, he put them in the care of his servants, each herd by itself, and said to his servants, aka slaves, go ahead of me and keep some space between the herds. He instructed the one in the lead, when my brother Esau meets you and asks, who do you belong to? Because people are property. And where are you going? And who owns all of these animals in front of you? Then you are to say, they belong to your servant Jacob. They are a gift sent to my lord Esau, and he is coming behind us. Right? He's trying to smooth the tension out with his brother. He don't want no smoke. This is what billionaires and millionaires do with their money today. When they feel like they can buy you over, you can be bought, they'll try to dangle some fucking gifts in your face, hoping you forget all the atrocities and all the evil they've done. Verse 19, it says, he also instructed the second, the third, and all the others who followed the herds. You are to say the same thing to Esau when you meet him. And be sure to say, your servant Jacob is coming behind us. He wants Esau to understand. He want to make sure Esau knows that, hey, look, I am going to serve you. I want to apologize. I will be your servant. You know, he's making sure, he's trying to drill it into their heads. Make sure you refer to me as Esau's servant, you know, so he can feel like he owns some shit. For he thought, I will pacify him with these gifts. I am sending on ahead. Later, when I see him, perhaps he will receive me. This is what I was just saying. He trying to, win him over. 21 says, so Jacob's gifts went on ahead of him, but he himself spent the night in the camp. This section is titled, Jacob Wrestles with God. That night, Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female slaves, right, and his 11 sons, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. And it says, after he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. Okay, wait a minute. That don't make no fucking sense. Bullshit meter going off. Turn your brain on now. Where the fuck this man come from? Motherfucker just appearing out of thin air, and I'm not understanding. That don't make fucking sense. Verse 25 says, when the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. This is a weird fucking fight, right? But then again, when you think about it, the title is Jacob Wrestles with God. So if we put 2 and 2 together, this man that appears out of thin fucking air is God. So Jacob is literally wrestling with God till daybreak. But it also says that the man, which is God, could not overpower Jacob. How can a all-powerful God not overpower a regular human being? Then he says, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. I'm not like, that don't make fucking sense. Why a God would wrestle with something he created? Why would you wrestle with God? Why would you wrestle with Jacob? Why would you do this? What you mean you can't overpower him? What are you talking about? So you can't overpower him, but you touched the socket of Jacob's hip so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with them. Man, look here. I know this them parts of the Bible they don't want you to read because it don't make fucking sense if you ask questions. You see, it don't make fucking sense if this is Jesus, right? If this man is Yahweh and Yahweh is God and God is Jesus, because they believe in a fucking Trinity, or some of them do. But if this is the Father God, or if this is Jesus, why would you wrestle with Jacob? Well, what is the point of this? Why would you need to? What is the point of wrestling with Jacob? Why would you want to wrestle with Jacob? Why would you need to do this? What is why are you doing weird random shit? Once again, here go the fucking God using his all power, his all powerfulness to do stupid shit. Now this same God, just level with black. You know how I do my shit. I'm an empath, so I always bring this shit back home. This is the same fucking God that I prayed to, that did nothing, can't do shit. But this motherfucker wanna wrestle. He wanna WWE some shit. He think he John Cena, literally, cause you can't fucking see him. That was a bar. Damn. He think he John Cena, Randy Orton. He wanna wrestle. He's a wrestler. He ain't the world title on the fucking line in Genesis chapter 32. This motherfucker doing hip wrenches and shit, doing takedowns on Jacob and shit. Why? I don't want to move past this shit without asking why, because that's what they do. They try to find, well, what's the meaning? What's the symbol? No, fuck that. Why would a all-powerful God need to do this? Why would you be doing this? What is this childish ass shit? I thought you was the Father God. Why are you acting like a baby? Why are you acting weird? Why are you being weird for? Why you doing shit like, see what I'm saying? Like, I can't be out here praising and worshiping this bullshit. Who do I look like? I look like the type of motherfucker that want to pray to some shit like, yeah, my God wrestled. Like, no, we not doing this. We not doing that. No. And so these are the people that believe in this bullshit. These are the ones that get on stage and try to debate that this is true, that this is literal, this happened, this is a real life event. No, this ain't history. This is somebody writing weird ass fucking stories, trying to portray a message. This ain't literal. Please don't take this shit literal. That's my problem. I think if I was a Christian, I'll be a literalist, and you shouldn't do that. This book, try to read this book like it's folklore and mythology. Do not take it serious. If you do, you're gonna be scratching your fucking head a lot. Cause this don't make no damn sense. A grown ass God wanna wrestle. Like, come on. Shunde K. This is stupid shit I be talking about with religion, man. Now, I don't have the privilege to be out here believing in dumb shit like this. Like, no, this don't do nothing. This is, you could have used this chapter to explain how germs and medicine work. Instead, you wanted to fucking wrestle. Could have put in there about how, how to wash your fucking hands and wash your ass. You could have made this chapter about washing your ass. And you chose to fucking wrestle. How dare you? This ain't my God. I don't know about y'all. I ain't worshiping this bitch ass God. Fuck no. I ain't motherfucking wrestling. Then the man said, let me go, for it is daybreak. Okay. It says, but Jacob replied, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Like, what? I will not let you go unless you bless me. That don't make, what the fuck is going on here? These motherfuckers fighting and wrestling and asking questions and talking about blessing each other and all this shit. That, like, Sunday K glory, man. How great is our fucking God? It says, but Jacob replied, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Then the man asked him, what is your name? But if this is God, he should already know his name. So that don't make any fucking sense either. Your bullshit meter should be going on. And then Jacob answered. He said, Jacob. Okay, then the man said, your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel. Oh my goodness. They did all this to come up with a story about how they got their fucking name. So God is dressed up as a man. He's got on the costume of a man, meaning he's in physical form. God can appear to us in physical form. Lock in now. Think about that for a minute. They say we can't see this fucking God, but this God want to come down and wrestle with Jacob. That don't make fucking sense. You asked him what his name was as if you didn't know. And you asked him, that was pointless because you was going to change his name anyway. And you knew you was going to change his name. You could have just said, hey, look, I'm going to call you Israel from now on. Verse 28 says, Then the man said, your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome. Jacob has been wrestling with God all night and he won. And so the name Israel means to struggle with God. Actually, I actually know what the name Israel means because I did some other research on it a little while ago. The name Israel means El persists. You know, that was the god of Canaan before the Israelites branched off and worshiped Yahweh, which was a storm god that had nothing to do with them at fucking first. But before they worshiped Yahweh, they worshiped El. The name Israel means El persists. But in the Bible it says you have struggled with God, to wrestle with God, to struggle with God, which might be the same thing. I don't fucking know. I'm not a biblical scholar. I just look shit up and read a lot of books. But from what I've researched, the name means El persists, but this say it means to struggle or to wrestle with God. This is like them writing a story to explain their history, but we know it's myth. We know it's made up. We know this shit didn't really happen. That's what we know. You know, that's what actual antiquity shows us. Actual history shows us these stories are made up. Abraham never existed. Adam and Eve never existed. Moses never existed. There was never a flood. So it's like, how can all of these descendants of Abraham be real people when the patriarch didn't fucking exist himself? You see what I'm saying? Like, even the God is made up. The God is not a monotheistic God. I'm sorry, I didn't mean he wasn't a monotheistic God. I meant to say this was not the one true God of the universe at first. This was just some foreign people's God, you know, the Midianites, desert dwellers. This was their God. But it's like, the God ain't real. The patriarch ain't real. So how the fuck can this be an actual account of history? We know this stuff is made up. But if you read it, they wrote it to basically try to give you a backstory or like a history. But we know this is not a history book, which means they're basically trying to backdate the information. And they wrote these stories to like explain what was already going on and what had already happened. You know, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to figure out a way to explain all this shit. So let's just make up a story based on the events that had already happened. Or like, let's take what's going on and just write a story about it with all these random ass names and shit. Because these people are not real people. These people didn't exist. And see, you got the God Yahweh, who's dressed up as a man, asking him what his name is and all this shit. This is how they get the name Israel. But it's like, this is just what they wrote to explain it. It's not real. These are made up accounts, made up fucking stories. Yep, sure is. Okay, let's try to wrap it up. It says, then the man said, your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome. Jacob said, please tell me your name. But he replied, why do you ask my name? We know you're God, but he asked your name because that's just common. When somebody asks you your name, and you tell them, then you ask them what their name is back. That's just common courtesy. It says, then he blessed him there. What? But Jacob said, please tell me your name. But he replied, why do you ask my name? Then he blessed him there. Stupid. None of this makes fucking sense. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, it is because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared. So Jacob saw God face to face, and his life was spared. He wrestled with God and won. God got beat up by a mere mortal, or God allowed himself to get beat up by a mere mortal. This story doesn't. This don't add up. My bullshit. I'm sorry. My bullshit meter I can't get jiggy with this shit. I think this chapter alone, it should make honest people put this bullshit down. This chapter, come on. So I'm supposed to dumb myself down, stop thinking logically, and try to get the metaphorical or symbolic meaning. I'm supposed to try to focus on that, instead of trying to make sure my fucking beliefs line up with reality. You know, I'm not basing my life on this bullshit. And you shouldn't either. Verse 31 says, the sun rose above him as he passed Peniel, and he was limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the Israelites do not eat the tendon attached to the socket of the hip. Like what the fuck is this? Because the socket of Jacob's hip was touched near the tendon. I mean, come on. That is the end of Genesis chapter 32. I mean, come on, y'all. Clearly bullshit. Clearly, mate. I mean, you can't even wrap your brain around this bullshit. If you don't, if when I say the Bible is made up bullshit and it's mythology, and these are just stories, and these are not real accounts. When I say that, you might not take my word for it, but you come read this motherfucker for yourself. Read it for yourself and tell me, what are you left with? What are you left thinking? The questions that you gonna have after reading this chapter, they won't get answered. But I don't want you to base your existence on this. I don't want you to feel like your life is meaningless without stories like this. This is a story of God coming down and wrestling with a man for no good reason. I don't want you to think that you don't have morale. I don't want you to think that you don't have a moral compass, or you don't have morality, or you can't derive meaning in your life unless you believe this is the bullshit that you gotta believe in. No, you don't have to believe this bullshit. There's better things we could be doing than, like, what is this? What is this chapter? I'm not one of those people that want to try to find the meaning in everything. No, and fucking no. When a story or when a book or when a religion has been used to cause harm and control people, fuck the meaning, fuck the stories, fuck the symbols. I want the fucking truth. Because if it ain't true, we need to put it down because it causes real harm. They've done a lot of damage with this fucking book. And these are the stories you supposed to base your life on. Motherfucking guys wrestling and shit. Like, come on, y'all. Think for yourself and ask questions. And like, it's you can't even apply common sense to this because it's stupid. But that's the end of the video, man. Thank y'all for rocking with the channel. We just hit 4,000, and so I got a surprise coming. I got shit coming. The anniversary of the channel is June 23rd. I got shit coming for that date too. But man, thank y'all for rocking. Thank y'all for subbing up. Thank y'all for coming, liking the videos, man. I appreciate y'all. This shit don't happen without the people. When I first started, I wouldn't have thought of having 4,000 fucking subscribers one day, but we there. So I thank all 4,000 of y'all ass. If you make it through the end of the video, I appreciate you. I thank you. I got some special shit coming. I got special shit planned for this momentous occasion. Just keep rocking with me. Stay tuned. Turn your bell on so you get the next video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Genesis chapter 32. Black Atheist.